viewers may find the following footage deeply disturbing. For more awesome content, like and subscribe now. Lock and load, bitches.
Oh, stop it. Yeah, it's terrible. So evidently, this is all Tom's fault this morning. I'm currently mowing the grass. Is that loud?
Yeah.
So evidently I had exceeded my recording limit on EveMux on my plan, and I don't even want it to record, damn it. Don't record me. I don't care nothing about this. We never wanted to see this show again after this. Oh, you missed the first half? Okay. Well.
Warning, some viewers may find the following footage deeply disturbing. For more awesome content, like and subscribe now. Lock and load, bitches.
All right, Phil. Anything else I can do for you? There you go. Yeah, so after I made the title, I was early yesterday and I went ahead and made this show because my phone tells me to do it, and I'm trying to do better about listening to things that I stuck in my phone in order to I'm trying to use it to remind myself to do things, because when you get to this advanced age, and I was reminded yesterday as I was getting my 25% off discount at the thrift stores that, yeah, I'm a senior citizen. Right. So it turns out there's some bad news for some resellers, and we're going to be losing some resellers here, or they're going to have to change what they do because it is no longer available. The government has listened, and the influx of such cheap shit from China. I don't know how many people missed that, but they've changed the laws, and I don't know when the date's effective. I'll find out. But the rules for DIminus are changing. So you ask Beard, what the hell is DIminus? So it is in 2011 when they decided, you know what, we need to bring more Chinese goods into the country. They get the $1.50 shipping or whatever shit, that cheap shipping, and they don't have any import fees. They don't pay customs. DIminus said as long as it's below $800, you're good, and that was the only rule for it. So you can bring in just tons of stuff. So a lot of people set up drop shipping accounts straight from Alibaba, straight from now Temu, and made these web stores, Shopify or whatever they used, and they would bring you'd order it, and all this stuff would come in from China, and it's just an influx of cheap goods flooding the American market. You guys have seen it. So now it seems that you're going to have to every customer, you're going to have to identify every customer that buys from you. So somehow you're going to have to collect their social security number and turn this into the federal government. How many customers are going to be willing to give you their social security number for stuff that you're buying in China? That's the correct answer, Steve. Thanks for joining the show.
0.
So I watched a video from a guy who talks about reselling. I forget the guy's name. Never seen him before. It just showed up, and I'm like, that's interesting because I hate drop shippers. Let's watch something that's negative about drop shippers. And so the retail drop shippers it still doesn't do anything to those guys. So the ones that are, scraping Walmart and will sell and have Walmart ship it for free and try to make like 8 to 10 to 12% on it. Those guys aren't going anywhere. But all the stores are bringing in from China. Phil wants to use Joe's social security number. I don't know, but I think you can find that in China. I'm sure they've got it because they've probably had to use it a couple of times to pay him. Right. Right. Oh, yeah, let's do Mitch McConnell. That's a creepy SOB. But he's got a titanium rod to his knee, to his ankle.
Yeah.
And let me guess, he's non-weight bearing for a long time now, right?
Actually, Doc says it's weight bearing.
No.
That rod will hold his bone together for at least 70 years.
And how did I get stuck with Johnny for like 13 weeks? What the hell?
Oh, well, he's still
Probably
got a
young.
lot of work and physical therapy and crap, and
Is he out of the hospital now?
he gets out this afternoon, so I thought I'd pop in this morning and say hi to everybody.
That was a crazy break, man. That didn't look good.
No, it didn't look good at all.
Yeah, he
So if
it
Okay,
wasn't
that's-
just that, it hit his fibula also. But the doc said, we get the tibia straight and the fibula will just heal. And then he's also got little fractures down at the top of his ankle. He said, yeah, those will heal up too. So he actually had 3 fractures. Jeez.
Wow. Yeah, be careful if you're on a ladder with a chainsaw. Is that the moral of the story?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good, folks. I could climb on my on a ladder up to the roof, and I could scurry over there and clean the dryer vent out every couple of years, or I can just pay the $150 and let some young kid go up there and do it, and not worry about my bones and trying to get back on the damn ladder and all that craziness.
We did a lot of yard work on Monday. Some of it involved ladders and saws. And I told my wife, I hope next year we can afford to have somebody else do this stuff. It's just the ladder was scary. It was all creaky and old. And then the physical work, we're getting a little old for that. So.
Yep. Jabez, that's it. If a ladder's involved. So I'll use the ladder under one exception. I clean the gutters out every couple of years. I use the ladder. I'm all right with that. As long as I don't have to get off of the ladder. If you have to get off the ladder, that's because my problem is not going up the ladder. It's not getting onto the roof. My problem is getting back onto the ladder with it moving like. eBay sale. I ain't even hit my own thumbs up yet, and I've got to sell. See, flipping ain't easy. John can't do that. Y'all notice he tells you to hit the thumbs up in his show, and you'll get a sale within 24 hours, but he never gets sales in his own show. You ever notice that?
Yep.
You got to. That's a snake. That's a snake oil salesman right there. You got to watch out for John. I already got a text from him, so I know he's awake in Las Vegas. He's like, "Your show's not live yet." I'm like, "No shit. I'm currently struggling with this. Leave me alone." But the fourth quarter is here. What are you doing about it? I'm celebrating dropshippers this morning. Chinese dropshippers. As I was doing some research on some ideas I had, it's all over YouTube about how to set up these stores and pick a product from China, and the markup. The example the guy had was some kind of mouth guard. The mouth guard was like the story he was showing was like, this is a typical drop shipping store. The mouth guard is $39.95, and they've got all this promotional material on the website. It's a nice looking website. And then you go look at Temu or Alibaba, and it's like $1.12. The markup is just insane. Moral of the story: if you want it from Temu, just buy it from Temu. Don't go through a third party. So we saw that you
The moral of the story to me was go buy it from Temu and sell it to some unsuspecting sucker. That's what I thought the moral was.
So that in that case, I don't know if they stopped that part of it or not, because if you actually buy it and bring it over here and then sell it, you're technically not drop shipping because you own.
No. If you own the product, that's not drop.
You own the product, and because the drop shipping is the model was always you never outlay any money for inventory, and so the inventory is it's you use their money to buy the product. So yeah. So I'm working on the fourth quarter's been pretty decent so far. It's hard to say, hey, wait a minute, I'm way up on eBay because I'm way down on Amazon. Those two, and then it's hard, because people ask me. I've had some people ask me, since you're back to eBay, what do you do? Your sales can't be as high as they are on Amazon. And that is correct. The sales dollars are not as high on Amazon, but the thing that people miss is I make more per dollar per item than I do on Amazon for the most part. There are those Amazon products you can find and flip fast or whatever that you make 4, 5, 6 times that. But there's rare times, like I bought a VCR this weekend. It was a dual player with the remote. It was like $8. And it sold this morning while me and Phoebe were trying to wake up in the recliner. I think I got 90 shipped for it.
Nice.
Maybe 100. I don't know what it was. Let me look it up. I'd hate to lie. My eBay. Come on. Let's see. We sold it for. We've had. So I did $69 plus shipping. So I got $89 to ship it. A dual player for an $8 dual player. So. And other stuff like a vacuum cleaner that I paid. Picked it up at a thrift store for $10, and I sold the nozzle, the floor part of it for $39 shipped, and I've still got the motor and all the accessories. So it's a different beast, and it's hard to compare when one is you make more per item, but you sell less items. So I've changed a lot of my goals, and that's the one thing I haven't really talked about is when you change and flip all these from going back to Amazon. I set a different set of goals as when I decided, tired of Amazon and all their shenanigans. Let's go deal with the eBay part of it. I can fight through the eBay. I think I have more control over the eBay, and so you have to make. You don't necessarily lower profit projections. You have to understand how to get to the same profit through lower sales. And it's just a different way of looking at it. Larry says, cranking up his eBay next week, so get your sales way. And another competitor's coming to the marketplace. Watch out for Larry.
Yeah, but we got one dropping off. Oh, Paul of Philly Flipper said, I'm done with eBay.
I didn't watch that video. Was he really quitting eBay, or is he that for clickbait?
He's not going to list anything. He's going to leave the items he has listed now is still going, but he's going to be 100% whatnot.
It works for him.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. If
right.
Whatever, you've got to go with what That's what I'm doing. I've switched because you've got to go with what works for you, what you feel comfortable with, and man, it's just.
But his reasoning for quitting eBay wasn't about that he was doing better on whatnot. It was about he got negative feedback for late shipments from the hurricanes, and he tried to get it resolved, and they said, "Oh, this is eBay told him this is customer opinion." So
is this the same? Is this the same eBay that says no problems when we got your back? We'll take care of that. That same eBay.
Yeah.
Right.
That, and he said they still been 5 years promising us immediate payment. He listed about 3 things he's still pissed off at eBay about. So he said, "I'm done." So anyway, but of course it'll be tougher with Sadie coming in because Sadie's such a prolific eBayer.
Yeah.
So Chastity, it's not that I'm not leaving Amazon. I'll still list some things on there. I listed a couple things yesterday. It's just that's not what I'm focused on. Like today, I am focused. I've got 2 to ship out for Amazon, and I've got 15 to ship out for eBay right now.
Wow, Mike Global Voodoo is back on.
Oh, heck yeah, Mike! I didn't even recognize him. He's got a beard. I'm like,
I know.
he said, "There's been rumors I'm dead," and I'm like, I'm still trying to decide if this is you, Mike. That beard, you got me all messed up.
It was definitely clearly Mike, but
I know it's definitely Mike.
that was pretty cool. I've watched Global Voodoo for years, man.
For years and years, yeah.
So it's good to see him.
He's another one who's tried pretty much everything, man. He's tried it all, and he was talking about
in the video. He's doing a lot of local. local reselling now.
Yeah,
So
I've
it
watched
works
him at
good for
least
him.
a decade or more.
And that's the message I got for you that's coming through through the chat and through all the other people is you can't be scared to change. You've got to take advantage of what's working for you. You know what I might not be. You might look at somebody and go, well, it's kind of not for me. Okay, it's kind of not for you, but you got to figure out what is for you. You know, it's this day of copying what somebody does. It doesn't last. You can have some temporary success, but there's no long term success in copying. It's got to be something that you're interested in, your ideas and what design your own business is. You know, glean information. You know, you pick up tons of tips and tricks and to make you much better at what you do. But it's still got to be you. We're all different. We all have different taste, knowledge. Uh, you know, some people will tell you that what not stuff for them, they don't want to get in front of the camera. When Paul does a really nice job at it. Paul, that's the one thing I would tell you is if you've ever watched one of Paul's shows, he's very engaging on his show. He talks to his audience. You know, he keeps up with people that come in there. They celebrate new buyers. I mean, he does all the things that you need to do. That a lot of people will be uncomfortable being on camera for that long. You know, that's also a ton of shipping. I don't want to sell. I just don't want to sell that many. But that's just what he chooses to do, and I don't have what works for somebody. I want to hate on somebody because oh my God, I would never do that. That's terrible. It's not terrible because it's not you. And there's so many people who can't get past that part of what's good for someone else, even though it's not good for you, doesn't make it wrong. They can't get past that part.
Dang, Sue, how long you been out the market or out of the job market? As long as I've known you, I think.
I was going to say, as long as I've known her.
Did you just call Sue old? Is that what you just said?
She's
Sue, I'm
not
so
as old
sorry
as
for
me,
Todd.
but yeah, she's still old.
I'm sorry for Todd's comments, Sue. That's so rude.
Yeah, you can. I'm a Never mind.
I think you've got a few years on, Sue.
Yeah, boomers rule. So that's my excuse. I'm a boomer, so I can say anything the hell I want. Nobody pays me any attention.
Randy said she just come across Buck Mountain Barn yesterday, historic fair. You can't be nice to Chris. Come on now. I have to go on his live show tomorrow night and act like a fool just because Chris is truly a nice guy. He's a good guy. Smaller channel, but it really has taught himself. And I've given him a couple things to do, and he's like, I'm gonna try those, and they actually worked. Imagine that. And he's still very new to reselling and still learning, but I like his openness and honesty to tell you what's happening. He'll tell you what he screwed up. We've been messing with him for about a week now for selling golf clubs. I think he sent 30 golf clubs to Arizona and lost money. We've been messing with him about that, but everybody's had that point where you sold something and lost money on shipping. But that is the great teacher in reselling. Experience and making a mistake is okay. So at the time, it's not a lot of fun to make that mistake, but man, to understand the knowledge you learn and the introspection you gain from that, if you treat it the right way and go, you know what, how can I prevent that from happening again and figure out what went wrong? I mean, it's on shipping is pretty easy. You know, you put the shipping too low because you didn't account for across the country. I mean, that's an easy one, but it really should make you look at your whole reselling business to go, what if? So I started looking at some of I thought I talked about it a couple weeks ago, the calculated shipping, and I lost a sale from calculated shipping. It was crazy. And so I made a heavier shipping, flat rate shipping. I think $26.95 is what I put it. But then I started doing some calculations using the zip codes from across the country, 90210. Am I the only one that still uses that one, or that's the California one I know? And so I throw California that one in there, and I go, wait a minute, I'm still going to lose shipping or be way too tight, especially if it goes up to Washington, which is even a little more. And so I started adding rate tables. How many people in the chat use rate tables? So the way that I'm using the rate tables, I think I still need to learn because I was told the other day there's another way to do those as well. It will allow you to pick the areas of the country. I think it's divided into 4 plus the Alaska, Hawaii, and the AFOs and the protectorates. And so I have it set up where it's $26.95, and if it goes to the West Coast, it adds like $6, maybe $7. And so that becomes $32 because and I only use that for I've got one product that's listed now, and I used it one yesterday that I sold this weekend. It was a freaking Ninja toaster oven. The thing was in a 24 by 20 by something 37-pound box. That's the heaviness that's the sale that I lost because calculated shipping UPS to California with the exact weight and dimensions was $90.
That's crazy.
It ended up costing me like $31, and I charged them like $34 some change. So breaking even is where I want to be in shipping. And so I got the sale. It worked out fine, but I lost the sale on that same item. So it took another couple of weeks to sell that. And so I used the rate table to, it's like I've got the $4.95 shipping, but it'll be on the $6 range if it goes to the West Coast. And so it's plus $2. I've made 5 different rate tables. And so the $4.95 shipping level, it adds 2. The $8.95 or the $9.99 shipping level, it adds 3. It adds 4 if it's the $12.95, and then the 18 adds 5, and the 26 adds 6. That's the way I've got it set up. And then once you get past the 12, you can go in and exclude PO boxes. I recommend you do this because if you don't exclude PO boxes, it forces you to only use the postal service. And so I did not want to ship that foodie thing without having UPS as an option because generally on the heavy items, UPS is much cheaper. Even though Ground Advantage has gotten significantly better, it's still not 100% as cheap as UPS Ground. And so the $18.95 and the $26.95, I have excluded PO boxes. And so that's how I've got it. And I still have the calculated. I bought a heavy printer yesterday, and I'm thinking I'm going to do some checking to see what the calculated rates are on that. But it's probably just going to be the 20. I mean, not how heavy. It's a color HP printer. It's heavy. What the hell is going on here, John? You said you couldn't be here. That means you can't be in the chat either.
I would think, yeah.
Steve and I have voted. You shouldn't even be in the chat. We voted.
Todd
All in favor.
Vote.
All in favor. 3-0, John. What the hell?
That was 2.5, really.
2.5.
Yeah, Todd went like that.
Todd didn't. He didn't show a lot of enthusiasm there, Todd. What the hell? You just got leveled up to a 3.
All right. So a couple of funny stories. The ambulance driver was dropping Gage off at the hospital, and he said, "This is October, Gage. We'll see you next fall." And then,
hell no! Hell no!
Oh hell no! Gage
I thought we voted him off the island.
We voted you off the island. Hell no!
Yesterday morning, Gage was doped up on morphine, and everybody that came in asked him his name and age. And nurse came in and said, "All right, tell me your name and your birth date." And he said, "Chuck Norris, 9/4/1952.
Is that Chuck Norris's real birthday?
I don't know. No, he's probably a little older than that. But
I would guess he's born in the 40s. Let's go see.
Gwen's mom looked at him like, "Oh my God!" She rolled her eyes.
It would be hilarious if that's his real birthday, though.
Chuck Norris was born on March 10th, 1940. He is 84 years old.
Is he that old? Jeez.
Makes you feel young, Todd.
Yeah. Chuck Norris he does fitness ads. I've seen him on YouTube advertising.
So I took a tour of Abilene today because there's 2 Walmarts here. My wife sent me for a pickup.
There's 3. There's 3 Walmarts.
And of course, I got a phone call from the store and they said, where are you? And I said, right where I said I was, spot 3 in a white car. I was just at the wrong store.
Oh, there you go.
So all the stores have numbers, John, like 2647 or something like that. Yeah, that's what you need to look for because it'll be on your order, which store you ordered.
So that happened to us when I bought some tires and for one of the cars. You got to be careful because the app doesn't show you that. Sometimes it'll change. You just it happens. It happened to us. So I'm not gonna give you a hard time, John.
I'm going to give him a hard time.
I don't care because whatever hard time you give me, I'm giving to my wife. Because I said, what store? She said, the one we always go to. I said, okay. No, that's not where it was.
No, I said Southwest Drive. I gave you an address. I told you Southwest Drive.
So we're gonna wait for John to come in here, the other John to come in here, so you can give him another hard time.
No,
it was so good. He made a whole video about it.
I got text about it.
From who?
From him.
His video was good. The one he did about it.
Yes, it was. I said, frickin' clickbait, bitch. Because he made me go watch it.
Oh Lord, that's terrible. When the key to your YouTube channel is you're having to text each one of your subscribers and make them go watch a video. That's terrible. I'm out for that. If y'all are waiting for me to text you to go watch the video, I'm out.
Now I'm working on delegation, and I hired agencies, and I got a lot going on. I didn't bring this up, but we have a family member that may need a lung transplant. My brother has cancer. We just got a diagnosis of breast cancer in the family.
Is this the same brother that runs your warehouse?
No.
Okay.
And then my daughter had a baby 2 weeks ago today. And then there's a death in the family 4 days after. So it's been a real struggling 2 weeks in Texas so far.
Yeah, I'm tired of hospital waiting rooms. Jeez.
Oh,
Between Gwen and Gage's leg.
Who's Gage?
That's my baby boy. He's 33.
Damn.
So you didn't at least try to set him up with a nurse while he was in there?
Man, it seemed like everybody that works the floors in that hospital is young. I said, Gage, look around. Come on.
He's thinking about Chuck Norris. What the hell?
I know. He was on morphine when he said that, though. So,
folks, you're going to come to find in coming years, the things that I already know is cancer is out of control right now. I hope that it doesn't hit your family. It's hit mine a couple times, especially for anybody you know that was susceptible and got its own purpose, folks. Go. And do any kind of reading, search out any kind of doctors, and they'll tell you that the cases and stuff are up 10-fold, 100-fold. They've never seen, and it's aggressive. It's aggressive forms of cancer that has been out of control, crazy. It's going to be tough to deal with here. So all you can do is hope they get better medical advice and get some healing.
I just know that with the two people being very close to me in less than 30 days time, what I can tell you is when they tell you to have these checkups and these mammograms and this and that, I know it's inconvenient to get poked at and prodded at, but luckily both of them were caught early.
Good.
Early
Yeah,
enough.
Johnny's been posting. It's breast cancer awareness, mammogram. Johnny's been posting on our Facebook, reminding anybody who follows her and her friends that it's that time of year, ladies. We like having you around, so get your checkups, guys. Same thing. There's worse things in the world than coughing for a doctor.
Yeah.
You don't believe me? Go spend a couple days in a cancer ward somewhere. It'll make you change your mind about. Yeah. So had you read anything about the drop shipping that the government is going to crack down on the coming in from China?
I watched a short video last night that it's happening.
Did you catch a date on it? I didn't see when the effective date was.
No.
Oh, I've still got the tab open for mine.
Is it something that's just proposed, or is this actual law that's going into effect?
Yeah, the one I'm looking at was from September 13th, but I think it passed.
Oh no, there was a video last night somebody put out on YouTube.
I saw it, but I saw the title, but I didn't think much because I'm not a drop shipper, so I didn't even think to look. So I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, so the problem is, folks, is Shein and Temu and some of these they're sending products over here that are dangerous. They are getting around any of the testing. So that's the other thing that comes up is anything that you drop ship now has to carry some of the certifications, UL listed. That's where they got in trouble with the all the battery operated, whatever they were, that were hoverboards and stuff that were catching on fire. There's chemicals in the clothing and all the other things that they're finding, and so that's one of the things they're trying to combat. Is because there's a reason why some things cost more. To carry a UL certification to be tested, you have to pay for that. You have to pay for these certifications and testings to ensure that and can prove that your product is safe except for food in America. It doesn't matter there. Food in America, they will allow us to eat chemicals. They will poison us. They will rain down hell from planes on us and cover the entire ground of the country with synthetic chemicals. But God forbid your hoverboard catch on fire.
I sent you a message. You can put that. You can put in the private chat. You can put that in the link in the group. That's the only video out that I know of about the new law.
Let me see if it's the same one I watched. Yeah, that's the guy. I watched him too.
He seems to be pretty smart. I'm not. I listened to. He said this is about AliExpress drop shipping because drop shipping affects me. So I checked to make sure it wasn't affecting me, and it's not.
So the channel's name is My Wife Quit Her Job. He's got 370,000 subscribers. So I'd never seen him before, but that's what showed up on my feed. There's the video I watched. He'll tell you. I'm not very accurate about the numbers. He goes in pretty decent detail. Tell you, he has some free stuff that he gives, and I have no opinion on those because I haven't seen them. But his information does line up to what I've Googled so far.
But I don't know anybody that drop ships from AliExpress. Do you?
No, but those are more of the Shopify whatever models where they can easily set up one of these stores, and I mean you can go all over YouTube and tell you how to set one of those stores up. Looks like the hardest thing to do is find the product, because other than that, everything else you can pretty quickly set into a store.
Sure, it's pretty much automated nowadays.
12 more days, Ron? Oh my!
Where is he?
And in the hospital in Houston, they're dealing with a kidney stone, trying to deal with a kidney stone.
I can't get there.
Hey, John, I don't think I found the list for Brett.
There isn't one.
Ron, what do you have a nurse to come console you when LSU beats y'all this weekend? You've made me an LSU fan, Ron, and that's terrible. I have to tell Kent that today that I'm temporarily an LSU fan for one weekend. I don't want to be with the Cajuns, but I will be. No, but get better, buddy. I can't imagine that much. Have you ever added up, Ron, how many days and how much time you've spent in the hospital? I can't imagine the number. It's going to be something crazy. But really right now is critical days. Anything you can get listed right now. I'm having good sales of a lot of stuff I'm listing or selling, and if I put stuff on sale, some of the older stuff is selling. There seems to be pretty good demand right now. Are you finding, John? Are you finding the same thing, Grumpy?
Yep.
Yeah. And it's been for. I mean, I've sold a couple of VCRs. I've sold stuff that are bigger. So, I've sold new products. I've sold parts. I've sold a little bit of everything, and so the demand for products seems to be pretty increasing a little bit. It seems you can tell that we're moving into. I know, Larry. It's terrible. I'm gonna have to disown you for the weekend, Larry.
If you sell stuff people want, your sales are good.
That's it.
If you sell what always sold for you, your sales may not be as good. The market is definitely changing.
And so I had this thought this morning, John, as I've been doing some reading and research. eBay, we blame eBay for a lot of the problems, but the one thing I've noticed, and we talked about it a little bit, eBay and Google don't play as nice as they used to. And how much of our product demand people would find on Google and then search it on eBay when they saw that it's available? Because I use Google Lens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use Google searches to find things. eBay items used to always show up at the top, and now you can't find, even on Google Lens, it's very noticeable on Google Lens. eBay used to be right at the top. For God's sake, Etsy shows up before eBay. I mean, Amazon always shows up, but I mean, I would expect Amazon. They own AWS and they understand the internet and how to deal with certain. I think that is underestimated, John. I don't think people just say Amazon this, Amazon that, but I don't think they understand the power of they understand search and how they get their products and their sites seen much easier than other sites.
And I think a lot of it is we're blaming eBay for making changes that we don't fully understand what the changes are, and we're not changing anything within our business model to update what we have for information for the eBay search algorithm.
Right.
You know, on Amazon, you almost have to have your descriptions written by AI. Otherwise, what is it? I forget what the name of the new AI tool is. Doesn't find a lot of your information. And now you need to go back and look through your, you can start looking at your questions that you were asked. Okay, well, I need to put that information in, especially if you have multiples of an item.
It's way more complicated than we give it credit for, and we just because we are stuck in our own business and we see that items that we think should be selling or getting more traffic are not selling. It's easy to go, well, it's got to be eBay's fault. They're not. eBay hates me. They're not showing this stuff because they don't like me. And
eBay don't even know who you are.
Yeah, the audacity to think that a platform that's got millions of sellers, that they've singled you out and they know you by name or whatever. People, because you've got because you've got 100 pieces of mall clothes up, they think that they decided they hate you or they know you by name and they're singling you out. They're excluding you from search. You're not that important.
I took my daughter for her driver's test yesterday, and she said, "What if I get the same guy I had a year and a half ago? He's gonna fail me because I failed then." I said, "He don't even remember your name. He has no clue who you are,
unless you crash
37 people,
almost,
right?"
If you almost killed him and crashed the car, he'll remember you. Other than that,
nope. And it's the same with eBay. I'm like, by the way, she did get the same guy. And she didn't pass, but we'll talk about that another time. She's in her 30s. She needs to pass her driver's license so that she can be promoted within the company, because that's the stipulation for them. So next week, she'll get there next week. We know what she did wrong. But I told her, he has no clue. He doesn't care. He doesn't go home at night thinking about, oh my God, that girl who drove over the yellow line is. He don't care. You're just like when I do my grocery deliveries, I don't even remember at the end of the day, I can't even remember the first one I did in the morning. It's just numbness, but eBay's the same. They don't have no clue.
Yeah, I'll go to 3 or 4 thrift stores. I can't remember what I bought the first one. I mean, the people.
No, because you're moving forward, and that's what you just keep moving forward.
And the Texas Bandit said of course, somebody had to drop a comment in there. eBay's only job is to prop up the stock price. Fuck everything else. Period. Well, guess what? Any publicly traded company, if that's not the focus of the CEO's role, he's not doing his job. You have to understand, what is a business for? Why did we get into business?
Make money.
Make money. It's twofold. Make money and freedom.
It's not as simple as that, because you can blame that on them, but just simply running at numbers to make numbers, if you don't take care of the business that got you where you are, you're going to crash it. And I think you can see that evident that a lot of businesses have crashed because of the type of people that are running eBay have taken over some of these businesses and bled them dry and left a shell of a company. I mean,
keep going, preach. You're preaching. Keep going.
History is littered with companies that were taken over by hedge funds that all they cared about was the return to shareholder money, because that's what made them money, because that's the business they're in, and they lose track of the sight that what made eBay so valuable to begin with was it's the way it treats customers, the way it treats sellers, the way and its reputation. And you crush that and don't do things that take care of that, they go. I mean, you look at somebody like a Sears. Sears was legendary for customer service and having everything in the catalogs and being dynamic and being ahead of the curve and leading retail for most of the 20th century.
Until they didn't.
But then you get people who are making decisions. What knucklehead decided to combine Sears and Kmart, two struggling? It's not good enough that we got one struggler. Let's put two together and see what happens. That was idiotic. And you stop innovating, you stop doing what you've done to get you where you are. You young people, I don't know how many young people even watch this show, because we're old. Don't understand the power of a catalog back in the day. You don't understand the power of a mall, because malls were dying as y'all were coming around, and now malls are dead.
So
these were powerful selling vehicles for quite a few years. That fell out of favor. That the stores that didn't come out of them and didn't. I mean, look at the stores of our history. Is there anybody in my generation who doesn't remember Spencer's Gifts? And that novelty, you can still buy that novelty and stuff online now. The demand for their products and type of products has not changed. It's just how it's delivered.
Well, and I think Spencer's Gifts is a good example. There's some pretty raunchy stuff in that store, and that was part of but wouldn't you rather order that online so nobody sees what you're buying? You know,
I don't really care.
But
But I
I'm
mean,
just saying.
look,
I'm saying that a good majority of people would rather.
but look at Sears. Sears was
what else is
schools.
Spencer? Wait, back up. What else is Spencer Gifts? Do you know? Do you know what other store they own?
I
No,
wasn't
what
about it.
other they own?
What is it? The Halloween stores that pop up.
A Spirit,
Oh.
Spirit of Halloween. Do they own Spirit?
You know, Spirit is now doing
They
Christmas
own
stores.
Spirit. They
Did
own
you see that?
Spirit.
Did you see Spirit's now doing Christmas stores too? Which, why didn't they think of that years ago?
No, that's a great. I mean, but
sense.
that's an idea of how you continue to innovate and double down on where you're having success. Whereas, because look at Sears, take Sears for example, they sold just ass loads of appliances to my parents and grandparents. All the tools, so many tools with Craftsman. You know, the demand for tools. Just go to a damn yard sale and estate sale and see tools. I mean, we still sell tools by the billions. We still sell appliances by the. It's just where you get them and how you get them, and it has changed. And Sears did not do a good job leveraging the chain.
Did you know that Woolworths actually still exists? You want to know what it is now? It's Foot Locker. So what happened? Yeah, because Woolworths' best-selling products were sporting goods back in the day. And when things hit the fan and things changed, they bought the Foot Locker chain. It's actually considered and then they changed. Whoa, where did everybody go? Oh, there you are. So they bought Foot Locker, and then I accidentally hit a button and my screens went away. So Woolworths owns Foot Locker, and that's because the sporting goods was the best-selling stuff, and they couldn't compete with Walmart, is what it was. Walmart came in and took everything over.
But it's truly it's your job as a business owner to take care of your business and to figure these things out and to understand the changing markets and to understand the changing demand and understand. Sometimes it's delivery. You look at a Paul, and he decided that his best bet was to change the delivery method from what platform he was using, and that might not be the. Nobody in the chat, Harlan, has any doubt that you love going to Spencer's, and no, Harlan will buy anything and does not care. There you go.
Yeah, there's a weird sound. Somebody's got something echoing.
It's not going to be me because then we got my earbud. I tried muting each one of you, but I guess I can't mute people. I thought I could. Oh, I can't.
It was Todd. Whatever Todd's doing.
Todd. Okay.
How about that? Sounds like Ghost Adventures. Did somebody hear a voice? Do I need after the show somebody play this backwards and see if we got a message from beyond?
So I'm pretty much a skeptic, but I got to tell you this quick story. We went. There's a bridge here.
Okay, sorry.
Tinker's Hollow, and it's a closed off bridge, but allegedly some girl died there years and years and years ago. So we took a voice recorder down there, my wife's son and I, and then we just hiked. We left it on the bridge and hiked, and I swear to God, there's a voice on that voice recorder. I have it somewhere. I'll have to find it and play it for you. There was nobody else in the area. I know who owns the property, and so nobody else was there that day. It was crazy.
But this business is very unique, and with the social media aspect, you have the opportunity. I tell you guys over and over, you need to get a group of folks together because it's harder for you to see things going on in your business. But if you've got 5 or 6 people that you talk to, and they sell different things, and they can help you understand, maybe they're not being affected, and you can start doing some analyzing and figuring out, well, why is it me and not them? And maybe it could be product, it could be process, it could be anything. Okay, so I'm not, as usual, here's the caveat. I'm not giving the platform a break. Sometimes the platform just a retard, but also the platform changing for what they think about, switching the search and doing the things they've all been accused of in order to better themselves and their position in the long run with a temporary negative to some sellers. I mean, if it was search, y'all forget this. If it was search and it was eBay, you know, and it was as bad as everybody says it is on social media, the sales would have nosedived way more than the reported sales. Their reported sales did not take the dip that coincides with what everyone on this platform, what everyone on YouTube is that I know of is saying. So there were people that were selling stuff. It's just a matter of
Who?
it's just sellers that figured it out and got and did what Grumpy says to get your ass to work.
And each year there's more sellers. So somebody is selling the product. They're still making the sales. eBay's still making money. You know, you have to. Part of it is, Amazon's still privately held in their philosophy. eBay is now owned by a hedge fund type system, and their concern is one thing: money. So there has been a change in the mindset of the ownership of the people that sit there and make the decisions of what's going to happen on the platform. Just because you see a little glitch, if they figure it out and they look at their spreadsheets and the numbers don't show where that glitch needs to be fixed, they ain't going to fix it. Because they're not going to spend the money out of the profit to fix something that's not going to change the profit line enough to do something. They are in it for one thing only: money. That's like Berkshire Hathaway has the name Berkshire Hathaway because Warren Buffett bought the company, which was a textile company, and it was his biggest mistake ever because he thought he was going to bring it in and he wanted to fix it. And it eventually went under. He kept the name as a daily reminder to himself of the mistakes he made. eBay selling out, was that a mistake? Well, guess what? People get old and you have to lose, you have to step down. You have to get out.
But somebody mentioned in there that they've seen more commercials for eBay than they have in the last. I've noticed they've wrapped it up, and that's.
I have too.
We because we think we see something, and we don't understand why corporate people and the powers that be don't see it. Doesn't mean that they don't see it. It's just I mean, if they wouldn't, if we said today, eBay, your problem is you're not reaching the younger generations. You need to target advertising. How long does it take to get those ads produced? By the time you go to ad agencies and change and have them pitch the new ad proposals or whatever they're called, and by the time then you've got to cast these things and produce these. I mean, we're in my business. John and I talk about this. We've talked about this in the past. If 3-inch tape, when I decided, oh my God, 3-inch tape, I bought a case, threw the 2-inch tape away, and said, screw it, or I put it on the shelf. John has got cases and cases of this stuff that he just can't turn on a dime. A smaller business and a smaller operation can make changes immediately. Like me, a great example. I'm selling on Amazon. Joni breaks her ankles. Oh my God, Amazon is dying. I'm going to start selling eBay so I don't have to go anywhere. And now all of a sudden, I just don't want to go anywhere, period, because I'm a homebody. But for John to have made that change, there's no way.
Do you know it takes me 6 to 8 weeks to get a new product on Amazon? Because I don't build the listing, I don't ship the inventory, I don't order the inventory, I don't have a part in any of it. So it has to move through the channels where before I could just buy it, list it, send it in. It takes time now for me to add a new product. There are things that I can't do as fast as I used to because I no longer am a one-man operation. Don't think that just because I grew in size that I have all the advantages. I don't. I have a lot of disadvantages too. I'm still selling stuff that I bought in 2020, Christmas inventory that I bought because it looked like the numbers were going to go that high, and they didn't. And I've been sitting on inventory for the last 4 years.
So Mike Gertis says top 10 sellers on eBay make up a good chunk of eBay's revenues. Of course, eBay will push traffic their way. If you ran eBay and eBay was your business, what would you do? Would you do anything any
I don't
different?
believe that. I don't believe that.
But if the top 10 seller, if they screw up and make mistakes and out of inventory and stuff, they don't get rewarded and stuff. They still have to follow the same rules we do.
And you have to understand who the top 10 sellers are. They're more than likely big name brands that are already known, and they don't need anybody pushing traffic.
There was a baseball card seller. Was it Probstein? I think. I don't remember. Top baseball card seller on eBay, and they shut him down because they were doing things that weren't right. It wasn't that funny.
But it depends on who you ask. Some of those.
Somebody kicked Mr. Shady out.
Some people think that that eBay, there was some shenanigans with eBay going on, that they wanted some of that business. And
it's possible. But I'm just saying, just because you're a big one doesn't mean you're immune to stuff, you know.
And you got to understand that, you know, a lot of times we go, oh, my Legos aren't selling. Well, Legos on eBay now, you know, as a brand. So you got to, they're going to get the majority of traffic. Why? Because they're Lego already. People recognize Lego. They don't recognize Sweet Butter Legend.
But, you know, a lot of people like me would tell you, I have no problem selling Legos. And why is that? Because generally I'm selling retired or older, which Lego doesn't carry anymore. So they're not my competitor. And so I don't see, you know, if you're trying to flip something that's currently being produced and Lego has moved in as a competitor, I mean, you've got a big competition that I'm generally not selling those items. So I don't see that competition.
You know, I don't believe that they play favoritisms to any sellers. I just don't. I don't see where. First of all, I don't see where it would be advantageous to them.
Yeah, I think it only hurt them negatively. They don't need the negative PR. They don't need any of the. I mean, why? If you've got a seller that's doing the right things and moving and following your rules, why would you? I don't see any logical reason. I mean, okay, so eBay in the past has gotten into trouble, but they didn't like, you know, the legalness that some of their employees. But I don't know how much that exists anymore. And that was a reporter and somebody, you know, that was not. Did she sell to? Does Anna sell to?
I don't recall if she still sells.
I'm not sure.
But you got to, you know. It's you have to figure out what works for you. Alex Hormozy, I love Alex because he puts out a lot of great content and wants nothing in return. He had a video that said, you design a system and a process that's profitable, and you run that system and process until it breaks.
Yeah, Gary V is a lot of the same way. Gary V does a lot of the same.
Throw a couple Band-Aids on it and run it some more. He says, you beat a horse to death. He said, that's how you win in business. You just find something that works and work it. If it doesn't work for you, change what you're doing and figure out what will work. You know, Amazon, you got to find a way to be competitive. eBay, how do I get my product in front of more people? Will a video help sell the product? I seen some kind of survey or something where they were saying that if a listing had a video, it actually had a sell-through rate so many percentage points higher than a listing that doesn't have a video.
Well, I can tell you personally, if I see a video on a listing, I'm watching that video because I'd love to see what the thing does in person. I do it on Amazon and eBay if I see a video.
You know, you don't want to pay for marketing? Then create your own marketing. Start a YouTube channel about your products. Do what you got to do to sell what you need to sell.
So Larry, that's an important piece. He says Gary V is very inspirational. You just have to translate to your situation. that's with all this stuff. Everything you see, if any of these business people, any of these motivational speakers, anybody who is showing you talking about reselling on YouTube, you've got to do that with everyone. You've got to see you got to understand the positive, negative, and then what are the benefits for you and your business, and how do you take advantage of it. I've been preaching this for a long time. It's you can't. There's no cookie cutter way to do this. There's no right or wrong way to do this. If it works for you, like John says, you run it into the ground. But the way to keep it from running the ground and the wheels coming off is if you find people and you can continue to tweak the same model and get even more life out of it because you make minor changes to keep you out of the ditch. I think that's a lot of the name of the game is really understanding the current situation and continuing refining your business to keep it well running and profitable versus.
There was a time when you just drew stuff up on, you just sent spam. You just sent junk mail. And you made a lot of money on the internet. Now, then it came a time when if you did mass production on eBay, you just overwhelmed their search engines and you were always shown. They give you 50,000 free listings and I could hit a button and upload 50,000 listings. You had to get with the time. But business on e-commerce has advanced so much that to really make an income from it, to be what most people call successful at selling, you need a team. Why do you need a team? Because you can't gather the information fast enough for all the changes being performed across the platforms. Perfect example. I run PPC. Everybody knows it. I run a very strong PPC program. I now have an agency handling my PPC because they know how to tweak it to the point that they've improved my processes. You have to go for outside help. This is where networking becomes very important.
Right.
Because there were Christmases you couldn't make as much money as you did or I did if we didn't talk to each other as much as we did during those days we were out there hitting Walgreens and Family Dollar and Dollar Tree or wherever the hell we were buying from. Hey, did you see this? Look at this one. If you don't have that now, you're not going to be able to keep up. You're going to get run over. You're going to blame the platform, and it's not always the platform. Sometimes it's you being lazy and not willing to learn what it takes to advance your business.
You can watch you start talking a different topic, and you can watch the numbers in the chat kind of go down. And you start talking about personal responsibility, accountability. People go, I'm not really into that. Let's go watch somebody else who's going to tell me everything's rosy and I'm wonderful.
Sorry.
It's easier to listen to those people who are telling you it's rosy. That's why a lot of them get big numbers on YouTube, but it is what it is.
Or the big numbers are the people that are for entertainment. They're showing you yard sales. They're showing you what they find. And it's about what they find. It's not about actually they've gotten outside the reselling community. They've got a lot of people who enjoy the chase and enjoy seeing older. I think a lot of it's about personality too. A lot of those guys have really pleasant personalities, and ladies too.
But most of their content is a little more on the rosy side than it is. Now, Kevin, he does. You see both sides with Kevin, Commonwealth Bicker.
Yeah, because most people don't,
and others too.
If you're watching people for that, you don't care that the Biden administration has changed the DIminus rules and where it's going to affect drop shipping, and that might be So I tell you that today to tell you that that might be an opportunity. Some of those products are going to go away, and if you've got if you see some of those stores that are well functioning stores in search and everywhere, and they're selling a lot of product, and go, well, if they're not going to be able to do that anymore, maybe I buy 100 of them and I can sell them here, because it doesn't mean you can't sell the product. It just means you can't drop ship it. There's opportunity everywhere you look at it.
That new law is just about drop shipping, correct? It's not imports. It's drop
It
shipping.
has nothing to do with imports.
So if I imported the same item that these people are drop shipping, I could win
because they never own. They never have ownership of it, so they're getting around.
I don't think it has anything to do with ownership. I think it has to do with shipping time and quality control. Because because of shipping time, they're outlasting the credit card protection of a purchase, and then that's why and there's a lot of shady people that can.
If you're into that type of drop shipping, you probably are shady. Just the way look at some of these drop shipping guys on YouTube.
I try not to.
They tell you how to skirt the rules and all this stuff. I mean,
I'm not a big rule skirter.
No, and I'm just saying, and that's probably a lot of the reason we're getting laws in that area is because it's that type of people who are bringing the stuff in. They don't care so much about the regulations. They just want to make the money.
And it's they don't have systems set up to put these on platform. You could still do the same thing. You could build the you could build the Spotify store for the same products and use a lot of the same stuff and just fulfill it yourself because you purchase the inventory. And you could be because one door closes doesn't mean the opportunity. It just means the opportunity there has changed. And I'll be willing to bet money that some of those people that are having great success with some of those products are still going to bring them in because it's just going to change what they do because it's hard to. I mean, what was it? 39, 40, 42%, 42 times markup or whatever they were getting. And I think it dropped it down to once the fees and stuff dropped it down. He said 12 times, so it's still profitable, but not nearly to what it was. But he didn't talk about if you fulfilled it yourself, you probably back up in the mid-20s somewhere. There was a happy medium that with a small change in the business model to hire some. You could bring it in and send it to a prep center and have it fulfilled by Amazon or wherever. There's opportunity to think these things through that most people just
Here's my biggest lesson in the last 2 weeks that I'm dealing with. Sometimes we want to blame outside sources or whatever it is for our lack of ability to grow. Because everybody comes here for one thing. How do I make my business more efficient and my profit bigger? That's why they come and see us. That's why they watch this show.
Hey, John, I have to hold up for a minute.
Go ahead.
You see that?
Who the hell's that?
I didn't think you had Paul, I didn't even think you had a YouTube channel anymore.
Holy Lord.
Folks, if y'all don't realize, one of the OGs, the reason why I met John is just walking through the chat. Paul, it's good to see you, man. Reseller Ronan, he had the original morning show, Bitcoin, right? Yeah. So there you go. Just wanted to say good morning to Paul.
Wow, man, I haven't seen him in years. I hope
is it weird? We get Paul and we get what's his name in the same week. What the hell?
He's so OG that he was on the show before I ever came around. So I've never personally met Paul.
Paul, if we listened to you about Bitcoin, we'd all be rich. We wouldn't even be doing this.
Man, every show ended with Bitcoin. He called out Bitcoin on every show, and not one of us bought any of it. That's why we're still on YouTube doing the shows, trying to make 2 cents.
We did not realize you were the genius that you were. Damn it.
Paul, did you buy any Bitcoin? But yeah, what I've learned is sometimes we think that we're managing what we have when in reality we're not. How many people do you know that if they managed their money better would be in a better place in life?
Most everybody. He said he did buy some, but just not enough.
I certainly would be in a better place if I would have managed differently.
So now you've learned how to manage your money, Steve. You've paid off your most of your debt.
Almost, yeah.
you're in better shape, right?
Much better.
Do you think you're going to come out of this ahead or behind where you were when you started?
Slightly behind at the beginning, but ahead in the long run, yes.
Okay. So because you took the time to learn, you are going to come out ahead. Sometimes we need to stop and manage what we have in our possession better before we try to grow. Harlan, I will not be in Vegas. I've seen your question. I just didn't get to answer you.
Why not?
I think it's given me a bigger.
Unlike you going to Vegas to get married, I'm in Texas to see my great grand. My great grand. Holy shit! I'm making myself old. My granddaughter.
I think going through that financial difficulty that we went through has given me much better appreciation for what the reselling business that we had, and I've already decided the changes that we're making. And
yeah, make sure you go for the deluxe picture package at the Elvis Chapel.
No, you should get. Listen, the first time we were in Vegas, then I went to the big Harley shop where the bikes, where they actually on the strip that has the bikes, not the little T-shirt stands, but the actual store. Elvis was holding a wedding on the second story in the Harley shop. You got to be behind me to say hello.
All right. Good morning.
Oh, and she blurred out.
She's so blurry.
Yeah, very blurry.
That's her age. It's showing through.
I know. 61 next month.
61. I missed my opportunity to trade her in for 230s.
Yeah, good luck getting takers on that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they put up with you for about 10 minutes, so your 230 will split.
10 minutes.
Okay, maybe 6.
I think it'd be longer than that, guys. My checkbook will last longer. My checkbook will last longer than 10 minutes.
So Daydream Adventures. It used to be a big deal to put videos on a listing. I stuck some on listings Monday or yesterday. It is so easy. If you're listing on a computer, when you bring the listing up, instead of just showing photos, there's a separate little box that says upload video. Click on upload video, and wherever the video is, it'll bring up.
You can even drag and drop it in there.
Add the video, drag and drop the video into the video section, and it'll upload it, and it'll say it's out for review, and it'll take them 24 hours, 48 hours to review it and make sure it is, and then the video will go live on your listing. That's it. You don't need a video. It is so freaking easy.
I don't know if they have. I don't know if they have a time limit on videos, but I keep them short and sweet.
Yeah, I think it's like 30 seconds. I think that's about the max.
But it is so easy. So I had a VCR, one of my VCR, and I put a video and showed it working. Okay, so there used to be a stack right here until, I don't know if y'all noticed, it's missing from last week, but there is there was a Christmas things, the music boxes. One of them had a train that went around in it. So I videoed you can go look on the store. It's still there, but the little train, you can see it moving. I had 4 of those that were music boxes, so I showed all those working. Those were the videos I stuck in. So
my rule of thumb was if it made noise or it had a function at all that you needed to show, that's when you do a video. The baseball card, you don't need to do a video of. It's just paper, Hey,
Will the Real Deal. Since your name is Will the Real Deal, here's what let's go full blast. This is what I wish, Will the Real Deal from Rocky Top. I wish when somebody does this, that's still called pass interference on the way to a goddamn touchdown. That's what I wish, Real. That's what I wish. That's what I wish, motherfuckers. That's what I wish.
Tender spot.
There we go. All right. When you've got the best receiver in college football and he's 17 years old, and you tackle that motherfucker, and the ball is at his fingertips, and they go, everybody in the booth, everybody goes, well, that looked like pass interference. I saw it in real time, except for the referees, which evidently they must be Vol fans. So there you go.
My favorite one is when the guy jumped off sides ran around and sacked the quarterback, and they didn't call offsides. That was my favorite one.
Oh yeah, that's not.
But either way, it was a sloppy game both ways, and Milrow looked terrible.
I'm pretty sure he's hurt, Harlan. There's no way he didn't. He's regressed some, but there's no way he regressed. He doesn't have that burst anymore. There's something that he doesn't move quite as fluid as he did. But anyway, all right, back to reselling. Just thought we clear the air right
back to your regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, so there you go.
Woo, that got an outburst, didn't it?
Woo. How do I really feel about it? It just pisses me. And you've seen it over and over. Everybody who's reviewed the game has showed you the same thing. Oh, look at this. I'm tired of seeing, look at this. It's like every time we see the kick six from Auburn. How many penalties and blocks in the backs do you have to see that nobody called on that damn play for us to lose? And we have to look at it until the day I die every year as the anniversary comes up. It's less than now because they have to look at Isaiah Bond catch a ball, and so that one kind of weeds it out now. But lineman down on that same play, lineman down. I mean, it's just insane.
Well, this show went off the rails quick.
Woo!
No, right. Somebody block wheel the deal.
Levi,
put him in timeout for like 3 minutes. But there's so much to this game to reselling. There's so much, to just say it's a platform and never look at what you do, never look at markets. I mean, it's a combination that it's your job to figure out the best of all of it to make your way in this game. You can cut out your piece of the pie, whatever size you need that to be. But it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be. Hey, are you going to be the ring bearer, little man?
What day's the wedding? The 14th, 15th? I could try and get to Vegas. Is it the 15th or the 16th you get married?
No, since you can't come, you're not invited. I'm sorry. Sorry, you missed your opportunity. No, we're not getting married in Vegas.
They're really going to Vegas because
that's where their honeymoon's going to be.
Since PD's in jail, now Usher's having the party, so that's where they're going.
Woohoo! Usher, baby.
I'm just waiting to see the list.
There won't be one.
No,
it depends.
What's her name's list never came out either.
The Epstein list? No, it never.
Elon says it's going to come out.
The madam.
Oh, Ghislaine,
yeah. All that stuff never came out.
It's not. They say they're going to put it out. It's going to be a tell-all book. You buy the book, and there's 3 names in it of dead people.
Be like Kevin Trudeau's books, where it said it was going to tell you something, none of it was in there.
Like clickbait video too. Do you see all these people? They've made a fortune on YouTube and videos. I can't even watch videos. Any other kind of video, I'd start skipping because go to the part where it's the most people have watched it and skip to that part and they go, well, damn. But
Will said all love, no need for censorship. With the SEC having the 2 new teams in here, and it's good that there's 12 teams in the playoffs because they're going to beat each other up.
It feels like we only got 1.5 teams. It's like we only got half at Oklahoma because their offense didn't show up. Whether their receiver room is as bad as our defensive back room. All 5 starting their 5 top receivers are out, and Bama's down to like starting 3rd string freshman in the damn back end of the defense. It's awesome. All right, so we're going to shut this one down early. Everyone have a wonderful day.
Good. I got to go to Chuck E. Cheese.
You're going to Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah.
I will give you.
For more awesome content, like and subscribe now.